Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you all for tuning in. I've got another band battle royale for you, and this time we're going to put three of, if not my three favorite bands of the 2000s against each other. That being Shinedown versus Breaking Benjamin versus Staind. And yes, I know technically Staind debuted in the 90s, but to me they're a 2000s band. They broke it big with their 2001 album Break the Cycle, so I think of them in the 2000s, so that's how we're going to do this. Now, I had to figure out exactly how many albums I could pit against each other. Breaking Benjamin only has 6, Shinedown has 7, Staind has 8. So we're going to go with 7. I'm not going to count Tormented for Staind, so we're going to use Dysfunction and Onward. Shinedown's pretty self-explanatory. They have 7 studio albums. We're going to use all 7 of them. Breaking Benjamin, they have 6 studio albums, plus they have Aurora, which I thought I could use, which is mostly acoustic versions of songs that have already been put out from them. There was the one original track on there. I don't own Aurora, but what I do own is the Breaking Benjamin So Cold EP. There's actually more original tracks on here than Aurora, so I'm going to go with this, since A, I own it, and B, there's more originals on here, Blow Me Away and Ladybug, as opposed to the one original track on Aurora. So that's going to be the 7th album for Breaking Benjamin right there. So, I do not own all the Shinedown albums that I'm going to be using, so I'll have to try to not confuse myself with that. But let's get into this. Let's put the round number 1. We have Shinedown's Leave a Whisper, Breaking Benjamin Saturate, and Staind's Dysfunction. Well, it's not going to matter that I don't own Leave a Whisper, because that album's not going to win this. It's okay, but I like these two a lot better. This one's kind of coming on strong for me lately. I mean, not that I haven't already loved Mud Shovel, but I haven't really loving Mud Shovel lately. Like, that's turned into one of my favorite Staind songs. Raw kicks a lot of ass. Suffocate, Home, Just Go, Crawl, killer stuff on here, but I've always loved this one too. A lot of my favorite Breaking Benjamin tracks on here, like Medicate, Polyamorous, Skin, Next to Nothing, Home, which is super cool, No Game, Sugarcoat, Shallow Bay, the bonus track Forever. I gotta go Saturate. This one's really coming on strong for me lately, but I still gotta give round number 1 has to go to Saturate for me. So let's put that right there. All right, round number 2, we have Us and Them. Oops. We Are Not Alone, Break the Cycle, and look at that. Those three albums kind of look like they go together, don't they? They all kind of look similar, same color scheme and whatnot. Again, I like this one. I really love the song I Dare You. That's a really great song. I do think this is a step up from Leave a Whisper. I still think Shinedown has a little ways to go before they really click in a big way. So that one's not going to win. It comes down to these two for me. Well, great album. Open Your Eyes, Pressure, my favorite song on here. Fade is great. Not crazy about it. It's been a while. Never have been. That's why it took me so long to get into Staind, because I've never been crazy about it. Epiphany, Suffer, For You, Outside, Take It. Great stuff. But this right here was my introduction to Breaking Benjamin and this kind of music. It's got So Cold and Rain, which are actually my 2 least favorite songs on the album. It's got Simple Design, Follow, and Firefly, which are my favorite songs. Break My Fall, Sooner or Later, Breakdown, Away, Believe. Breaking Benjamin wins round 2 over Staind. So Breaking Benjamin is 2-0 so far. Round 3, we've got The Sound of Madness, the So Cold EP, and 14 Shades of Grey. Darn, Shinedown, you should have made this a gray album cover, and we could have had another, like, trifecta with album covers there. Look, this, not necessarily because it's an EP, because this is a good EP. I really love both the original tracks on here. Blow Me Away and Ladybug are both awesome songs. The live versions of Away and Breakdown are fine enough. So Cold Acoustics, fine enough. But I think you got enough strong material on these 2 full-length albums here that I gotta go between these 2. This one, the songs I love, I really love. Devour, Sound of Madness, Cry for Help, Sin with a Grin's not bad, What a Shame, Call Me. never been a big fan of Second Chances. That's kind of why it took me so long to get into Shinedown, because I never cared for that song. Never cared for The Crow and the Butterfly. If You Only Knew is decent. But yeah, it's just got a couple songs I just can't get into. This one here, when I did my last Stained video, when I ranked the Stained albums, did I put this 4th or 5th? But I said that I thought the second half of this album was straight filler. The first half of this album is pretty much perfection. The second half, straight filler. I don't know that I feel that way anymore. The second half is kind of growing on me. There are tracks I'm starting to get into, like Reality, Tonight. I got a big sticker covering up track 13. What's the name of track 13? Blown Away, I think. Great stuff. Still love the first half better, but the second half is growing on me quite a bit. So, I'm giving it to Stained. I think strength versus strength, Devour versus Sound of Madness versus Cry for Help against Price to Play, So Far Away, How About You? I think I'm going to go with my favorite songs on here over my favorite ones on here. So Stained wins round number 3. Round number 4, we have Amaryllis, Phobia, and Chapter 5. All 3 albums, pretty good. This one, a lot of people love this one a lot more than me. It's many people's favorite Breaking Benjamin album. It's my second to least favorite, actually. But it does have my favorite Breaking Benjamin song of all time, which is Unknown Soldier. Diarrhea Jane, it's okay. I'm not crazy about it. I love Breath. I love Evil Angel. Here We Are is really good. Had Enough is incredible. You Fight Me is really good. But this is the weak link in this round for me. Comes down to these two. Great stuff on here, like Runaway, Right Here, Paper Jesus, Falling, Everything Changes, Take This, King of All Excuses. A lot of great stuff. I did rank this as my favorite Stained album when I did my ranking. I don't know that I still feel that same way, because there's a couple other albums that are really rivaling this one, but this is still a strong album in my opinion. This is my favorite Shinedown album right here, and I love this whole freaking thing. Adrenaline, the title track is incredible. Unity, Enemies, I'm Not Alright, Nowhere Kids, My Name, Wearing Me Out. This album is pretty fantastic from start to finish. I'm giving round 4 to Shinedown, because I really love this album right here. So round 4 goes to Shinedown. Round 5, we have Threat to Survival, Dear Agony, and The Illusion of Progress. All right. This one, it's good. There's 3 songs on here I really love above the rest. That's Believe, All I Want, and Lost Along the Way. The rest of this album is sort of a mediocre to slightly below average Stained album to me. I mean, there's other decent songs, but those 3 really stand above the rest. So I have to say that one to me is the first one I'd eliminate. I think this one's really good. I think it's a little underappreciated in a way. I like Asking For It. I like Cut the Cord. I love Cut the Cord. It's one of my favorite Shinedown songs. Outcast, How Do You Love, It All Adds Up, Thick as Thieves, Misfits. Great stuff on here. Great stuff on here. This is my favorite Breaking Benjamin album. Fade Away, Crawl, Give Me a Sign, Hopeless, Dear Agony, Into the Nothing. I gotta go with Breaking Benjamin on this one. So round 5 goes to Breaking Benjamin. Round 6, we have Attention, Attention, which I do not own, Dark Before Dawn, and Stained. Attention, Attention is a good album, but it's not going to win this battle for me. I think the sum of the album is greater than the individual parts on that one. I don't think there's any one song that really stands out to me. It's a great listen from A to B, or from A to Z, however you want to say that. But without having like any standout tracks, it's not an album that I'm going to reach to as much as, say, Threat to Survival, Amaryllis, or Sound of Madness, or these two. I really like this one. This one was Breaking Benjamin's comeback after they had been away for, 6 years. Band broke up. Ben reformed them. So you got a whole new lineup here. Ben Burnley with a whole new lineup. I thought it was really good. I was surprised to find out a lot of people didn't feel the same way about this. I really liked it. Failure Angels Fall, Break the Silence, Bury Me Alive, Never Again, Great Divide, Ashes of Eden, Defeated. Great stuff. Love this one. This is one of those albums that might be rivaling Chapter 5 for my favorite Stained album. Eyes Wide Open is so freaking heavy. Not Again. Failing. I love Failing. Great song. Wannabe is stupid, but it's silly, and I actually am kind of starting to like it. Throw It All Away, you know, at the bottom, Now, Paper Wings, Something to Remind You. Gosh, 2 great albums. I gotta go with Stained on this one, though. I love this one. I think this one's underappreciated, but I'm gonna give round 6 to Stained. So we have 1 round to go. Breaking Benjamin has 3. Stained has 2. Shinedown has 1. So, round 7, we have Planet Zero from Shinedown, which I own on vinyl, but I didn't grab it. We have Ember from Breaking Benjamin. We have Confessions of the Fallen from Stained. This is my least favorite Breaking Benjamin album. There's some songs on here I like. Tourniquet's really good. Psycho's cool. Close Your Eyes is my favorite track. This is like a Breaking Benjamin album. All these songs, I feel like I've heard them all before, except it's like they don't have the hooks that make them interesting like they did in the past. So this one just fell flat for me. It's heavy. This is Breaking Benjamin's heaviest album, but it's the one that I feel the least need to go back to. So I gotta say it's not winning this round. So we've got Confessions of the Fallen versus Planet Zero. Planet Zero is a really cool album. It's the one that really got me into Shinedown, opened my eyes to how awesome Shinedown is. You have tracks like the title track, No Sleep Tonight, Dysfunctional You, Symptom of Being Human. Gosh, I know there's more songs on the album that I love, but I don't have the track listing in front of me right now. I could do without a lot of the interlude tracks. Like there's a lot of like computerized, futuristic interlude tracks that sort of kind of tie it together and make the concept, I guess, which is fine. It doesn't feel necessary though, and I think it does bloat the album a little bit. This one, fantastic. Stained, first album in 12 years. First album for me as a Stained fan because I just came into Stained about a year or 2 ago, well after their self-titled had been released. Lowest in Me is awesome, but I love every song here. Was Any of It Real? In This Condition, Out of Time, Cycle of Hurting, Hate Me Too. But the 2 songs I love the most on here are 2 of the slower ones, Here and Now, which is freaking beautiful, and Better Days, which is fantastic as well. Oh man, I gotta give it to Stained. Stained's gonna win this round over Planet Zero. So that ties Stained with Breaking Benjamin. Breaking Benjamin has 3. Stained has 3. Shinedown only had 1, so Shinedown is eliminated. So, time to go into overtime, where we are going to pit the 3 winning albums from Breaking Benjamin versus the 3 winning albums against Stained. And since it's only 3 rounds, we will have a definite winner by the end of this thing. So let's go back to Saturate versus 14 Shades of Grey. I like this one a lot. I like this one a lot too. As I said earlier, the second half of this has been growing on me a little bit. I think you could still stand to cut a couple of tracks here and there, but I would no longer say that I feel like everything past track 7 is filler. I could still do without Lane. I could probably cut Falling Down and maybe one other song, but I still think you got a really darn good, solid album here. This one, I don't think there's quite as much filler. I don't know. If you go strength versus strength, do I like Medicate and Skin and Shallow Bay as much as Price to Play? How about you? So Far Away. Oh, you got Forever on here too, which I gotta consider. Oh, this hurts, man. I'm gonna give it a Saturate. That's tough. That's tough. They're both so freaking good. I'm gonna give it to Saturate though. So round 1 of overtime goes to Breaking Benjamin. Round 2, We Are Not Alone versus Stained. All right, Both albums, incredibly solid. This one, my two least favorite songs are the two most popular songs, So Cold and Rain. They're not bad, they're just my least favorite. Simple Design, Follow, Firefly. Those are the three songs that made me fall in love with this band. Break My Fall, Sooner or Later, Breakdown, Believe, Away. Gosh, great stuff. This one, Eyes Wide Open, banging track. I love that one. Not Again's really cool. Failing. Like I said, Wannabe is kind of dumb, but I'm starting to like it, actually. It's heavy as shit, but the lyrics are just really, I don't know. Knowing that the band themselves don't take Wannabe that seriously kind of puts me in the mindset to not take it seriously, and I kind of enjoy the novelty of it. Throw It All Away, the bottom. Now, gosh. Oh, man, this is tough. This hurts even more than the last one did, actually. Dang. Ever so slightly. Gosh, I don't know. Ever so slightly. Ever so slightly. I'm gonna go Stained. So it's gonna come down to this. My favorite Breaking Benjamin album versus the new Stained album, which I love and is right up there, as far as I'm concerned, right up there with Chapter 5, right up there with the self-titled, right up there with 14 Shades of Grey. I love every second of this one. I love every second of this one. Fade Away, I Will Not Bow, Crawl, Give Me a Sign, Hopeless, Dear Agony. Oh man, the list goes on. Into the Nothing, Without You. This one's got Lowest in Me, In This Condition, Was Any of It Real, Here and Now, Better Days. My insert's falling out. Alright. Gosh, what do you go with? Look, as I said before, these are my three favorite sort of 2000s bands, if you will. Breaking Benjamin is the one I've been into by far the longest. I got into them back in like 2004, maybe 5. 2004, I think it was. I don't remember. 2004, 2005, something like that. I've been following them ever since. Both Stained and Shinedown are fairly newer to me, even though I've been aware of both of them for a long, long time. It's only been within the last couple of years that I've gotten into them and become fans. I would rank Stained as my favorite of these three. Breaking Benjamin I've loved the longest. And these two albums, I'm going to give the one to Stained. That was tough. That was tough. Breaking Benjamin sure could have pulled that one off, but at the end, I think those two newest Stained albums, for me, just by that much, clinched the win for Stained. So, if you like this kind of content, please play along in the comments. Let me know what albums you would pick for this battle. If you like this kind of content, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this in the future, and I will see you next time.